Hey, what is up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. I've got an amazing discovery to show you guys today. Found on the planet Mars, and it really is mind-blowing. And it was originally found and discovered by a Portuguese-speaking UFO channel by the name of Mundo Desconhecido, or translated, which means unknown world. And once you guys see what I'm going to show you today, I think that, well, if you were on the fence before about the prospect of Mars containing ancient artificial structures, or in other words, things that have not occurred naturally and were at some point in time placed or built on the surface of Mars. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that we've talked in the past about the fact that Mars does contain a pretty big laundry list of artificial-looking structures. We're talking towers, we're talking domes, we're talking vehicle tracks spanning miles across the surface, UFOs, discs, you name it. And if you start researching into these anomalies surrounding Mars, you'll start to get a picture that maybe Mars isn't the red, dead planet that scientists would have us believe. In fact, more than ever, space agencies across the world are showing an increasing interest in this planet, and to this very day are spending billions and billions of dollars to get probes there, as well as people. So, what we have found today, as you read in the video title, are what can only be described as 3 towers on the surface. And we're going to show you exactly how to find these. So, first of all, we're going to go to Google Earth, which is a software program that you can download. You can view the moon, Mars, Earth, in 3 dimensions. You can zoom down to the surface. It's a pretty cool program. We found countless anomalies using this piece of software. And so then you switch it over to Mars, which is what you're seeing here. And I have actually put a place mark so that I could find this exact spot, but I will put the coordinates down below, and so we'll go ahead and zoom in here. And where you're going to find this location is right near what is called the Meridiani Planum, as well as Terra Meridiani. So you can also type those into the search bar on Google Mars, and it'll take you right to them. So here we are zoomed in. I've got my place mark here, Mars Towers. So what we have here is a bunch of satellite imagery that has been stitched together. As you may well know, we have multiple orbiters and probes that have been taking pictures every day, 24/7, 7 days a week of the planet. And while you're on Google Mars, if you go over here to the left-hand side, you'll see a list here where you can choose what type of specific spacecraft imagery you'd like to see. And we have all of these different probes here. So what we're going to turn on first is this right here. It's called CTX Image Browser in orange. And as you can see, we have these thousands of orange boxes that appear. Each one of these boxes represents a high-resolution image taken of the surface of Mars that you can click on. So now we're going to go ahead and zoom in. And actually, you know what? The CTX browser we wanted to save for second. I meant to say open the MOC image browser, which is in yellow. Alright, so here we are. We've got the place mark here, and the specific image I want you guys to check out is this one right here. It's MOO01661. So we click on it, and we can see here, this image was taken by the Mars Orbiter camera on board NASA's Mars Global Surveyor. We're going to open this specific image on the Mars Image Explorer. Alright, and so here we are. And again, I will put the link to this down in the video description. So here we have this slice of satellite imagery taken by the Mars Orbiter camera. So we'll go ahead and zoom in here. So these are high-resolution images, and these 3 towers, as we're calling them, are down here near the bottom. So let's go ahead and go down. And here we are. Now the objects in question that I'm talking about are right here. And first of all, I want you to notice how these objects completely stick out like sore thumbs compared to their surroundings. There's nothing else like them in this entire image. The second thing that I want you to note is the absolute perfect spacing in between these 3 towers. And what we're seeing here, and the image is a little bit overexposed, but we're getting a bird's eye view of these towering, pointed objects. And the sun is basically almost directly overhead. So we're not seeing these elongated shadows. We're seeing some shadows right here being cast down, moving toward the left, which perfectly correlates with where the sun is in the sky, as well as everything else in the image. So we're getting this bird's eye view. And again, look at these pointed objects. Identical in size, shape, length, width, and it would appear height. Now again, as we zoom in here, just to give you a better shot, I want you to look at these and you can clearly see that these objects are pointed, are elongated with pointed tops, raising up off the surface. We'll take away the background just so we can focus clearly on these. And again, you can look anywhere else in this image. You'll find nothing that looks like these. Furthermore, no other images that are in a perfect straight line, perfectly spaced apart. I want to show you a 3D rendering of what these objects might look like if you were actually on the surface of Mars, and you're seeing that here. Now, this is just a crude Photoshop image that I threw together. I'm not very well versed in Photoshop or computer-generated imagery, but I think it gets the point across, and it gives us an idea of what these objects look like if you were actually viewing them from an angle other than the bird's eye view, where again, they are perfectly spaced apart, they have these pointed tops, and the shadows of which are being cast all in the same direction, correlating with the sun's position almost directly above them. So let's go back to this image here, and let's go ahead and zoom back out and head back over to Google Mars. So here we are, back in the area, right here. And now we're going to go over to the left-hand side to the spacecraft imagery. We're going to turn off the MOC image browser, and we're going to turn on the CTX image browser, which is in orange. And now we have a whole other array of orange boxes that appear, again, each representing a specific satellite image. So, as you can see here, we have this large square, which covers, down here in the left corner, part of the area where we found these 3 towers. And if we click on it, again, it says this image was taken by the context camera on board the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. So, we'll go ahead and click and open this. So, here we are, we're looking at the MRO context camera. So once again, we will go ahead and zoom in here. And I want you to notice, once again, on this specific camera that was taken in a different year, we again see these exact same 3 objects. So we'll go ahead and bring this to where it needs to be. Go ahead and zoom in. So we're seeing these exact same 3 objects. Now, one very interesting thing to note that we could not see in the other satellite images is that if we go over to the right a little bit, we will see another set of 3 more of these tower-like structures. Again, all in a row, all that are nearly perfectly spaced apart. And look, here's this set here, and here we have the very first set. So, coincidence? And not only that, natural? I don't think so, guys. I think we're onto something here. 3 more objects, and you'll notice below it we have another little faint circular object. Same exact thing that we're seeing over here, where if we look up, we have another faint small object. So, we've now identified the same 3 towers on 2 separate satellite images, one of which contains another row of 3 identical towers. So I guess this begs the final question. Are these some sort of ancient ruins, or are these structures newer than we think? And as I'm looking at these, looking at the pointed tops, looking at the perfect dimensions, the perfect spacing, it's just not something that you see occurring naturally anywhere. Mars is not known for towers. Mars is known for craters and volcanoes. And granted, it has some very anomalous terrain. But one thing that we have always been told that it does not have are 100-meter to up to miles-long pointed towers on the surface. because if NASA were to tell us that, of course they would have to give us a logical explanation, and they know that they couldn't pull it off. In my opinion, we definitely have an installation of some sort here, and when you couple in all of the other Mars findings that we've posted on this channel, and heck, even the towers that we have found on the moon, some of which have been blurred out or airbrushed out by NASA, and we're talking miles-high towers. Another very famous image that we found on the moon is of what is known as the castle, which was found to be towering over 6 miles up off the surface of our moon. And NASA has nothing, absolutely nothing, to say about this one. So, this is an amazing discovery. I want to give a big thanks to the Mundo Desconocido YouTube channel. An amazing finding. Let me know what you guys think. Check it out for yourselves. And we will continue this search. I have no doubt we have many more findings. I have a feeling there is much more that we are going to find in these high-resolution satellite images, and we will present them as they come to us. So thanks for stopping by. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your alerts for when we post a new video, and I will see you guys back very, very soon.